Hey guys, we're here live at the National, and I'm here with my boy DJ Skee.
What's up? We out here. It's great, man.
Yeah, man. A lot of traffic, but we made it here, and it's a good time, good vibes. And we're here to talk about some things that I think are very interesting to the hobby today, and I want to talk to you about because I think me and you are kind of coinciding in the same industry. And I know you came up with the Realest, and I want to find out today, what was the inspiration behind the Realest? Like, what gave you the motivation to create it, and what was the idea behind it?
So with the Realest, we built like the first true straight from the source end-to-end memorabilia an authentication platform for partners. So we allow people, it starts number one with authentication. It's not just a marketplace. We only work with the source. So if somebody calls us and is like, hey, we have these items from, could be Jay-Z, could be, LeBron James. We're like, unless you are Jay-Z or LeBron James, we cannot authenticate it. And we use witness-based authentication, something that Major League Baseball had kind of pioneered over the years and took on to that, because we thought photo matching, certificates of authentication, even RFID chips can be cloned. Like, everything had a tremendous amount of security flaws. So we wanted to build the highest quality authentication protocol as a foundation, and then give a platform for partners to control the branding, to own the end-to-end user experience, to get rid of buyer's premium and these fees that we think keep a lot of kind of this new generation away just instantly and would turn them off if they saw that. And for me, I'd always had this concept. I've always loved memorabilia and obviously collectibles. When I was touring with artists like Prince, I remember picking up the set lists and guitar picks and like, why are these not in a museum, right? And so I'd always said, somebody should do music memorabilia. And our company focuses on anything entertainment, music, sports, and giving it the best authentication straight from the source, and giving partners like a Snoop Dogg who we just sold with, or NBA team that we have a partnership with, the ability to kind of go direct to consumers that we in a platform that we power without any work and the highest kind of quality for them.
Well, it kind of goes hand in hand with AMG, what we do, because I feel like we get a lot of submissions and we have rejected a lot of things because there is no way to prove the provenance of these things.
Yep.
So when I saw you come up with it, I was like, what a genius. You know what I mean?
And vice versa, right? Just the concept of grading these items is smart in and of itself. I have so many vinyl and cassettes that I still need to get over to you, by the way.
Yes.
But you're right. You just don't know, and letters. Everything else is a letter of opinion. That's not good enough. Right?
Yeah, it's word of mouth. It's guys on tour. It's the roadies.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I have had some incredible pieces come in that supposedly are what they are, but I think from the future now on, the Realest is the place where microphones will be grabbed off the stage.
Yes.
A Coke can be grabbed off the stage. A moment in time of a gigantic festival, what they were wearing, what they were doing, all these things. And I think that's what you bring to the table, and I'm really excited someone finally came up with that concept,
I appreciate
honestly.
it. Yeah, I think it's an obvious one, and I think my skill set and the connections that I have enable us to actually go out and get these deals done, right? And introduce this to a new world, right? Like, collectibles and memorabilia is still new in certain sectors, like music, and especially when you look at music, like in subcategories like hip hop, right? It's something that, when I talked with Snoop about this, he had storage. He was like, this is, I don't know, what am I going to do with all my stuff? And I'm like, dude, no, this belongs in a museum. Even when we authenticated, we got a lot of press for his smoked blunt, right? We sold
I
the
saw
roach.
that. Yeah.
And he's like, man, nobody's going to buy that. I'm like, just wait and see. And $5,000 later for a smoked roach, right? We put beautiful packaging. We witnessed him smoking it. We put it in resin from there in the same ashtray. So and we have video of that, so whoever has that knows, they can actually see the moment that it's done. And now we set not the number one all-time record. Number one is for a smoked item. There's a cigar from Winston Churchill after World War II. Snoop is number two, but he surpassed number three, Ulysses S. Grant, the former U.S. president, who had a cigar smoked from the Civil War. It sold for $3,500. So Snoop is between Winston Churchill and Ulysses S. Grant.
That's
wild,
incredible. Right? I would never, a smoked roach is crazy to me. Where do you see the future of music collectibles headed to? You see the cards going. In 5 years, where you think guys like me and you will be?
I mean, I think it's the upside is really blue sky right now, right? There's so much opportunity. We are looking at the explosion. We've seen what happens in sports. You can make the argument that musicians are even, sometimes more popular than a lot of athletes and stuff globally, right? Yeah. Snoop is one of the most recognizable faces. He's carrying the Olympic torch, right? It's and he's not an athlete. He's a rapper from Long Beach, right? And so I think the upside is tremendous. I think especially as a lot of these artists kind of age up, and a whole community that grew up collecting now has the means to acquire them, right? Yeah. And to get vinyl and go back and, you know, buy and grade a vinyl, not to play. Like, I have so much vinyl, I don't listen to it, right? Like, it sits there, it's for shelf, right. It's for decor. I'm gonna put on, you know, my Sonos and streaming service, but I want that vinyl. It still feels connection. I haven't sold anything. I still have all my vinyl from the time that I was a DJ, and or like when I was actually DJing vinyl when I started, and I think like the ability to showcase and preserve and all those things is just incredible, and it's a natural evolution.
I want to know, what is DJ Skee's top 3 music memorabilia in your collection?
Let's go backwards. Okay. So I know number 1 without question. Let's see, 2, 3. I'm trying to decide between 2 and 3. I'll just go on. One thing, we'll say number 3, Tupac. I have the original print sheet from All Eyes on Me, the album. So in vinyl, the way that they print it is CMYK print, right? Like there's 3 colors and they print on that. So I have the original print proof from that, which is just, you know, insane. I have, again, like even my lanyards from some of the stuff, like Prince. I think I have like a guitar pick from him is just incredible. And then number 1, without question, Dr. Dre's personal plaque. It's about 5 feet tall for Chronic, for Doggy Style, his albums, and for the singles Nothing But a G Thing, What's My Name, and Dre Day. Giant plaque. It's just insane. Again, for arguably 2 of the most important albums, not only in hip-hop history, but in music history, and a couple of his biggest singles ever, all on one plaque, not presented to somebody else. You can find plaques, and this one is his one-of-one personal.
It's Andre's.
To Dr. Dre, and it was taken from the Death Row office when they did the bankruptcy. He never went back when he had the drama and picked it up, so Suge kept it. I got it at the bankruptcy auction, and I tried to give it back to Dre, and I brought it to his studio one night, and we had the best conversation. It has a bunch of magazine covers on it and things, because they really create these cool art pieces for it, and he told me the story of them when they shot it and all these things, and I was like, you want it, you can keep it. He's like, no, I don't want the memory. It says Death Row all big, so he's like, I don't want that energy. Like, if you want to smash it, if you don't want this in existence in the universe, like, by all means, go for it. It's yours. Like, I was just holding it for this time, and he's like, no, I want you to have it, and he signed it to me, and we became friends after that, and it was just an incredible thing. And it shows, too, also, like, you do right, and like, I was giving it back to him, and when I was driving there, I was like, damn, am I really, like, this is going to be tough to part ways with. I was like, it's his, obviously, but it shows when you do good, it always comes back to you.
Yeah, that's incredible. You don't know that what he just said right now is probably the thing I want to see. So hopefully one day I can see it in Skee's house or something.
Dude, we'll get you, of course.
It's amazing.
That's sick.
I wanted to ask you also the question, in terms of the Realest, what are things that are coming up that you want to talk about?
Yeah, sure. So we're out here at the National. We just announced a partnership with the Tony Gwynn estate. So I've known Tony Gwynn Jr. for a while. We got connected with his family, and they've been sitting on all this memorabilia for years. And you know, Tony passed away 10 years ago, unfortunately, way too early, one of the greatest players of all time. And for what we do, too, is not just making money. Like, that's a part of it. But at the end of the day, we are storytellers. Memorabilia is items that's unspectacular if it didn't have that story behind it, usually, right? Like, when you look at a used baseball, they're like, what is this? But no, this was Tony Gwynn's first hit, which is why it's worth, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yeah. But for us, like, it's about keeping his legacy alive and letting a whole new generation that never saw him play learn about him and see that. That's why we did this card drop that we called the Lost Season. 94 was the season that baseball went on strike. But Tony Gwynn, between August of 93 and May of 95, in that 162 games, batted .406. So it's just insane. Like, he could have batted 400 that season, and that's why we decided to pay tribute and announce the partnership with a free giveaway. I love doing free giveaways, especially at the National. It's been something I've done, you know, for a few years, and it just felt right to do that, to announce the partnership and tease kind of what's to come.
Okay. And on the music side, anything else coming up?
Oh, yeah, tons of music. You'll see more with Snoop. You'll see other things with different genres. I mean, we've been authenticating items from everybody from, we did Andrea Bocelli at the Academy Awards. We've worked with, you know, we did some stuff with J Balvin at Coachella. We have a bunch of Post Malone we did when he did TSX. So we've got a ton of stuff on the horizon. We're super, super excited for it.
I'm excited for everything you brought to the table.
And vice versa, and I'm excited to finally get this collab. You're going to see us do some big stuff at AMG.
So we're working on something, but we can't talk about it now.
Stay tuned.
But you'll see it real enough with AMG and the Realest. We're trying to do a lot for the musical collectibles market. And I'm so glad you came out here.
Dude, vice versa.
Thank you for taking the time with us.
Dude, no, congrats on all the success. Like, it's just such an again, another obvious business. And I talked to grading companies before, and they're like, "Ah, we'll wait. It's still early." You guys just went out and did it. So kudos to you guys.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Steve Aoki. And peace out. Live from the National.
Let's go.